Okay, good evening guys. So actually medyo mahirap tapatan yung presentation na nauna sa akin. So hopefully may matutunan pa kayo sa presentation ko. But first, let me introduce myself. So I'm Alvin Delagon. So I'm a partner solutions architect. So we have different kinds of solutions architect. I focus more on the partner side. So if you know about sila Novares, sila StratPoint, that's what I enable and help. Okay. So before joining AWS, I was also part of Voyager. So and I also led the DevOps the direction before I left. So without further ado, so I'll be talking a little bit about the DevOps services. So I was planning to do the demo, but most of the demos has been presented this morning on the first presentation. So we'll focus more on CoStar. So anyone heard about CoStar? Okay, so that's good. So I think anyone will probably understand yung picture na to, di ba? So before, maybe around mga 2005-ish and downwards, di ba? So we have different people for QA, we have different people for developers, for ops and infra. But now we are expected to be wearing multiple hats. To the point na sakit na ng bata ko, bigat na ng mga sombrero. So actually, DevOps has been with us for quite a long time, di ba? So but if you understand, so I think anyone here uses using Jenkins before. Jenkins yung pinaka-popular, di ba? So, pero sobrang sakit sa ulo i-manage yun. So, and that's why with AWS, what we do, we listen to the customer pains, and that's what our basis for building new services. So, alam namin na sobrang hirap mag-operate ng CI/CD pipeline. So, that's why we invented this kinds of tools. So, sobrang dami niya, di ba? So, breadth of developer tools. So, but we'll be focusing more on the CI/CD tools at this point. Okay? So, nakita niyo na kanina yung code build, code commit, and code deploy, and code pipeline. This is actually the gist of CI/CD tools. But along with that, we also have CloudFormation. So I think pretty much who knows CloudFormation here. But we also announced CDK. So it's very very exciting stuff. Papakita ko sa inyo mamaya. And also Cloud9. So before I used to be an Emacs user. So dati nag-edit ako sa may local laptop ko. Pero lately ngayon nag-enjoy na ako sa Cloud9 eh. Kasi kahit saan pwede ko mag-code. Kahit sa iPad. So for CI/CD, I think this is something that we've seen on the first presentation, di ba? So mostly pinaka-pattern natin dyan is 4 stages. Wherein we have source, we have the build, then we have the test, and then deploy. But lately, we also added the monitor. Kasi it's very important for us to know what's happening on your application, especially on production, di ba? So before, kung may problem tayo sa production, we only see the logs. So, but we don't know kung saan mababagal, saan yung mga kailangan natin optimize. So that's why we have services like X-Ray. So Amazon X-Ray is very similar to New Relic and Dynatrace. So Amazon X-Ray, basically you just install an agent on your EC2 instance or also automatically included on Lambda. And actually instrument all of your code. So like function by function, SQL query by SQL query. Actually napapansin niyo dyan, na makikita niyo, kunyari kung ano yung SQL query na mabagal, ano yung API call na mabagal, kadalasan yung third party yung mabagal, yung kinapalog yung API. So X-Ray is actually very good for load testing, but at the same time monitoring your production setups as well. And code commit, this is actually our private Git repository. So very much by like GitHub and GitLab. Code commit has been improving for the past few years. Before wala pang pull request dyan, pero ngayon meron na. And at the same time, we also support wiki and issues na. So we're catching up with GitHub. So more and more people are now moving to code commit kasi mas mura siya. And code build is basically a set of services where you can build your applications. So before, di ba, if you're using Jenkins, ang pinaka-popular na plugin dyan is yung EC2 plugin. Di ba? So whenever you build, a Jenkins server can spin up an EC2 server for you and run the build there. So for problem na doon, on-demand instance ang gagamitin nun. So mas mahal yun. So instead of you managing that, there's code build. Okay? And also, code deploy is actually for deploying application. So, as you can see, ang pinaka-importante niya na kailangan malaman is for code build, ang configuration file niya is build spec ng YAML, di ba? So, on the build spec ng YAML, we have certain phases, di ba? So, merong before build, and during build, and post build. So, you can run multiple scripts in between those hooks. Then, on code deploy naman, ang configuration file niyan is yung app-spec.yaml. So, meron tayong mga tinatawag ng mga hooks dyan. So, say for example, pre-install, post-install, before sending traffic, after sending traffic. So, within those hooks, you can insert automation. So, magandang use dyan, kunyari, yung post-install. You might want to run your integration tests after post-install. So, and yun yung mga yung pwede mo gawin sa code deploy. I'll show you that later. And also, one thing na possibly hindi pa ganun kakilala sa pagdating sa mga services, yung AWS CodeStar. So, we've developed AWS CodeStar is actually to minimize the building of the pipeline for everyone. Because when we offered code pipeline, code commit, and code build, and code deploy, kadalasan ng ang barrier of entry, marami nahihirapan. How should I set up this? Ano ba yung best practices? So code deploy, CodeStar is basically the one that binds everything together. So if pakita mo sa CodeStar, you can actually easily create your own pipeline depending on what framework that you use. Kunyari, I want to run a Node.js application running on Lambda or running on EC2 or Elastic Beanstalk. Marami na mga templates na included kay CodeStar. Tapos yun yung bahala automatically mag-configure ng pipeline, code deploy, and code build for you. So it's actually very useful for beginners. But at the same time, I'm very transparent. So I tried this myself. So very good siya. Pero sometimes you have to make some changes. Kasi there's no silver bullet in terms of pipelines. It actually depends on company by company basis, diba? Depends sa processes nyo, ano yung mga toolset nyo. So the pipelines that you build on CodeStar, pwede nyo so pwede nyo i-customize, but it's actually a very good template. Okay, and also recently we just announced CDK late 2018. So what's CDK? Sino ba nakapag cloud formation dito? Kapag cloud formation, yan, okay. Di ba ang sakit sa ulo? Di ba mag-edit kayo ng YAML, di ba sa JSON, sobrang nakakaduling, di ba? So lately, actually, we've seen that problem. So we invented CDK. So you can go to Google and search that. CDK is basically a very declarative way of doing automating an infrastructure. So basically, you can create your own CloudFormation using Python, TypeScript, or ano ba supported namin? C#. So very useful siya. So ang kagandahan niyan, kunyari, I'm a Python guy. So my web application is running on is written in Python, but at the same time, my CloudFormation is also written in Python as well. So isang language na lang. And also, di ba, you get the benefits of object-oriented programming, di ba? So you can create your own mga classes, tapos pwede mong i-inherit yun. So parang gumawa ka ng nested stacks doon behind the scenes. So this is actually very exciting stuff, and we've been heavily investing development time on improving CDK. Okay? And at the same time, I'm not saying na gamitin niyo yung services ng AWS. So, we're not forcing you to do that. We actually work well with partners. So, GitHub is actually one of the popular, di ba, Git repositories, di ba? So, code pipeline is as a built-in integration to GitHub. Tapos yung code pipeline, meron kami built-in integration for Jenkins. So, because we can actually understand everyone here, because Jenkins is like Apache, pagdating sa CI/CD, di ba? Lahat nandun, sobrang daming plugins. Even to the point na parang kailangan mo ng plugin para lang hiyain yung muli nag-commit sa Slack chatroom. So, mayroon mga plugins na gano'n, di ba? So, when we realized that kung code build ang gamit mo, you can actually do that. Pero you have to create your own scripts for that, di ba? So, kung ayaw mo, pwede mo gamitin pa rin yung Jenkins and utilize those plugins. Also, GitLab tsaka yung Bitbucket will also support that. Okay? So yung demo, papakita ko na lang a little bit yung CodeStar para ma-appreciate ng lahat. Okay. Anyone feel free when can come closer if you want to see. So, what you're seeing right now here is Cloud9. Anyone heard about Cloud9? So Cloud9 is actually what do you call this one? A third party AWS bought that. So and Cloud9 is basically IDE running on the cloud. So what's good here is that, diba, before your development environment resides on your laptop, diba? So Cloud9 provision an EC2 server for you and runs this web-based IDE. It's very similar to, it's not very similar to Eclipse. It's actually more like Sublime na medyo okay. So as you can see, nandito yung mga code ko. And what's good with this one is that I can access it anywhere. So even though I'm not with my laptop. Also, I use this for my workshops. Kasi kadalasan when I do workshops, iba-iba yung computer di ba? May naka-Windows, may naka-Linux, may naka-Mac. At least this put everyone in a level playing field. Kasi dalawang option mo dito, either Amazon Linux or Ubuntu. In this case, Ubuntu gamit ko. Okay? So Cloud9, I can use that to write to edit your Lambda functions, and then also at the same time become your own development environment in the cloud. So here, let me show a little bit about yung CDK. So you can go to CDK and we have samples here. So say for example, meron kami sample dito na Lambda cron. So it's like a Lambda function that runs on a specific time. So as you can see here, yung imbis na YAML or JSON, very declarative yung CDK. So as you can see, pwede mong gawin yung bootstrap ng ng Python application mo. You can initialize muna yung infrastructure mo. Then once the infrastructure is ready, then you can run your application. So very consistent siya. And basically, if you want to run this, asan dito? CDK deploy. So what it's going to do is going to read your declarative version of CloudFormation, and will create the CloudFormation script for you and also deploy that. So medyo matagal na lang yan, pero behind the scenes, it creates the Lambda function and the necessary resources as specified on my Python code. So that's CDK. Very exciting stuff. Kasi ayaw mag-edit ng JSON. And for people who don't know who hasn't have experience with code build, ito yung parang pinaka-gist nun. So build spec.yaml. So this is actually the configuration for code build. So as you can see here, I only implemented the pre-build. So during pre-build, I just run the Python setup py.pytest. So it runs the unit tests, and also you can run other stuff here. So say for example, if you want to run your load testing, so you can do it here. Tapos yung aspect.yaml naman, dyan naman nakalagay yung hooks that's going to be triggered during deployment. So in this case, say for example, you can see here, we implemented the after install. So what happens there is that we run after the installation of the initial application, we just run the install dependency script, and we also run the start server and stop server. Okay. Now, going back, so ito naman yung CodeStar. So, as I mentioned, CodeStar is an easy way for you to set up your CI/CD pipeline. So here, pakita ko lang kung gaano siya kadali. So, if you want to create a new project, you'll see here that we already have a lot of project templates built in. So, say for example, I want to create a CI/CD pipeline for a Python web service hosted on AWS Lambda. So you just have to click that and put some details here. So kung saan nakalagay yung code mo, tapos and at the same time, itong template na to, meron na siyang configuration for CloudFormation to create the API gateways, Lambda, etc. So it's actually a very good start. So and at the same time, it's not something that kung yung ginawa ko sa CodeStar, hindi ko na marunong kahit saan. So basically templated siya. So hindi ko na i-run yan, but as you can see, we have, I prepared 2 CodeStar projects here. So this one is a CodeStar project that's hosted in my own GitHub account. So I created a Chuck Norris API. So you can hit this API and it will give you random Chuck Norris facts. So, and here, with CodeStar, napansin nyo, nakakonfigure na lahat So, nasa single pane of glass na lang yung, yung tools. So, nandito na yung code commit. Tapos yung application activity, so yung CloudWatch is also integrated here. So isang dashboard na lang siya. In the same time, you can also see your code pipeline here. So yung source, build, tsaka deploy. So instead of you configuring your code pipeline, code build, code deploy, pwede nyo gamitin si CodeStar para padali buhay nyo. So it's already implemented. So actually, if I fire yung changes ko dito, kunyari dito, saan yun? Tapos nag-git push origin ako. Oh, sorry, spelling ko yata. Anyways, so once I do a git push origin master dyan, so nara na yung code pipeline. So from the build to deploy, etc. So ganun yung CodeStar. So going back to my presentation. So building your pipeline on AWS. So actually, di ba, 4 stage na siya, di ba? Very simple. But as soon as your project becomes more complex, there's more phases you can have to implement. So one thing would be yung database changes. Ito yung kadalasan nakakaligtaan di ba? So doing CI/CD on your application, there's no problem. That's the easiest ways out. Pero ang pinakamahirap lagi yung database, di ba? So one of the popular things that you can use, anyone heard about Liquibase? So Liquibase is basically a way for you to codify your database schema. So this one works with Oracle, MySQL, SQLite, everything. Most of the RDBMS is supported here. So ang ganda sa Liquibase, ang code mo dyan is actually written in XML. And you can run database migration using Liquibase. In the same time, rollback. So pwede mo gawin, do the database changes first, then deploy the code. For people that are actually using ORM frameworks, so ito yung mga popular. Sa Python, SQL Alchemy. So SQL Alchemy is like Liquibase as well. So you can model your code, model your database using that. And we can actually do the migration and rollback. Same time, SQLize, ang katumbas naman ng SQL Alchemy pagdating sa Node.js. Tapos Flyway for Java. Actually, yung JPA supported din niya. And Django. So si Django is actually one of the popular web frameworks pala sa Django, pala sa Python. So may building ORM din siya. We can do database migration. And also, of course, automating tests. So I was actually quite proud nung sinabi ng Globe na gumagamit sila ng device farm. So device farm is actually a very useful tool. So especially if you're building mobile applications, diba? So you don't have access to all of your mga devices, diba? So you have an iPhone, you have an Android. So if you want to automate your testing across different devices, so device farm is this. Mocha is actually a testing framework in Node.js, very popular one. So during post build, you can run Mocha.js testing. This one, anyone familiar about this one logo? Selenium. So Selenium yung pinakalumang testing frameworks. But right now still stable. Another one is yung popular yung robot framework. So robot framework is actually for testing APIs and web applications as well. For load testing naman, so may built-in integration kami with BlazeMeter. So BlazeMeter is something, a managed service where you can upload your JMeter scripts and it will spin up maybe 5,000 clients bombarding your API. So pwede mong gawin during code deploy, after post-install, you can trigger BlazeMeter to bombard your application. So para makita nyo na agad na anong behavior niya. And artillery.io is an open source load testing tool as well. So if you don't want to run BlazeMeter, can run artillery.io in EC2. And also Lambda. So very useful yung Lambda pagdating sa mga ganyan So pwede mong gawin during the code deploy. On the post install, you can trigger a Lambda function to do a synthetic test on the APIs or web service. And also, security scans, ito yung parang pinakamasakit kadalasan eh. So, usually ginagawa natin, InfoSec yung gumagawa nito, di ba? Manual. But there's already ways to be able to automate that and include that to your pipeline. So, in here, ang pinaka-popular dyan is yung OWASP ZAP. So, OWASP ZAP is actually an open source tool for you to be able to scan your web applications against the OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities. So, let's say for example, yung mga secret injection, yung CSRF cross-site forgery, so being covered by OWASP. And you can also integrate that to your pipeline. So possible kay code build, possible din kay Jenkins. Okay? And Nexus Auditor and Black Duck are third-party services that you can use to be able to scan your dependencies. Ito yung kadalasan kasi na, na hindi na i-scan eh. Spacing for example, if you're using Node.js, di ba? Kung nag-npm install ka, sobrang daming dependencies kinukuha niyan. Kaso hindi mo alam kung alin doon yung mga security vulnerabilities na. So that's actually what Black Duck and Nexus Auditor does. So it reads your requirements.txt or package.json and checks which versions do you have who have security vulnerabilities. So this one can be included as well during your pipeline. Para at least before ka push sa production, na-scan na kung ano yung mga dependencies na may problem. And checkmarks is a static code analysis, security. So, isa sa mga popular. May plugins din yan for Jenkins and also integrate that with code build. And also, automating infra. So, ang pinaka-all namin dyan is yung formation. So, if you like editing JSON and YAML, but just like what Isaac announced few slides ago, we also have the option to automate your infrastructure using popular languages for using CDK. Another option is Terraform. So, Terraform, magagandahan yan is can support different cloud providers. So, if you're multi-cloud, you can use Terraform. And also, saying, it's something that we're saying na kung Jenkins yung ginagamit nyo, we're not saying na umalis kayo doon. Kasi Jenkins is actually a very popular tool, and it tailors. So, kadalasan, ang pinaka-power kasi talaga ni Jenkins is yung plugins, yung plugin market niya. There's also a contender, GitLab CI, if everyone heard about that, and also Bamboo, di ba? Pero wala silang masasabi sa plugin environment ng sobrang dami. So, there's actually ways for you. So, even though, if you still want to keep your Jenkins, pwede mo rin i-leverage yung mga managed services namin. So, you can use Code Pipeline as the orchestrator on all of the bases. Use code commit to store your repository, and pwedeng bahala na si Jenkins to do the other stuff, like for example Slack notifications or email notifications. Marami siyang mga plugins doon. And Jenkins also has plugins to be able to utilize code build and code deploy. So at least ang trabaho ni Jenkins na-minimize lang. Ang mina-maximize man natin Jenkins yung mga ibang plugins niya. But in terms of built-in compute and deployment, pwedeng i-leverage mo yung managed services ng AWS. You can also do that around. Pwedeng si Jenkins din yung orchestrator mo. So, si Jenkins can orchestrate both code commit, code build, and code deploy. So, kasi basically, if you look at Jenkins also has the visual way to see what your CI pipeline looks like. Very similar din siya sa code pipeline. Okay? And also, you can see here, yung systems parameter store. Anyone heard about this? Yung parameter store? Kasi di ba, during code deploy, di ba, you just deploy the code. Pero paano yung mga configuration? Like, for example, yung mga database username, passwords, yung port, di ba? So, instead of cooking those configurations on your instance, you can store this configuration on the systems manager parameter store. And run a script to collect those information and provision that to your instance. Okay? So, that's pretty much it for me. So, I think we still have enough time to do a Q&A. Okay? Okay, we have 10 minutes, then we can run the Kahoot quiz later. So, don't be shy, just raise your hands. Yeah, actually, for CodeStar, it's very useful for, kung kung DevOps engineer ka na, actually, sobrang simple na yung CodeStar para sa'yo. So, we probably would skip that. Okay. Kasi, ang CodeStar kasi medyo opinionated kasi yung CI/CD pipeline na set up niya. But if you're a beginner and if you want to practice DevOps as soon as you can, CodeStar is the way. Kasi marami nang naka-template doon. Okay. Pero at the same time, kung ano yung template ng CoStar, you can still modify it, no problem.
Okay.
So siya na nagtali-tali lang doon.
That's good.
How about yung cost? Cost lang. Yung
Cost.
difference between
Ay, cost.
CoStar versus...
CoStar is free. Walang bayad. So, for CoStar, you only pay for the other services. Di ba si Code Pipeline, may payment na, di ba? I think $1 per active pipeline yata. So, Code Build as well, pay by Code Build, $0.05 per minute. So, but using CoStar to be able to tie these things together, it's totally free. Walang bayad yan. It's actually our way to be able to make the barrier of entry on CI/CD easier for everyone.
Okay, so Demi.
Been using like Jenkins and TeamCity for like God knows how long. But if I already have a CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins or TeamCity, I'm actually a fan of TeamCity. Are there any advantages to migrate into CodeStar? Kasi CodeStar seems like it can orchestrate, right? So if I have that in place for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, then you have CodeStar now coming in to the scene. What's the advantage of moving to CodeStar then?
So, basically, CodeStar is for beginners. So, if you have a mature CI/CD pipeline already, I wouldn't recommend it.
Alright.
So, kasi very opinionated siya eh. But while being opinionated, pwede mo naman din no problem with that. But say for example, if you're using the CodeX services already, Code Build, Code Deploy, Code Pipeline, and also TeamCity and Jenkins, masyadong simple si CodeStar para sa iyo. So it was actually designed for us to make it an easier entry for new beginners. Pero yun, maganda libre siya. Wala siyang added cost.
Okay, any more?
Sir, pag naglo-load test ka sa yung place meter, kasi diba pwede siyang maka-email kami ni AWS na parang binabombard niyo masyado yung AWS as resource or something. May ganun ba?
Wala naman. So actually, when you practice load testing, it's completely okay. No problem. And also recently, I think everyone knows na, di ba, before when you do security scans sa AWS, kailangan pa ng paalam, di ba? And we have an SLA of 24 hours before. Pero ngayon wala na yun. As long as you do the security scans within your VPC, that's totally fine. Pero kung siyempre nag-security scans kayo sa mga ibang AWS account, then mapaplag kayo.
So parang kung within VPC sa loob, pwede test?
Yes, okay lang yun. Wala problema doon. But load testing, totally fine. No problem.
Paano pag multi-account structure?
Pag multi-account yung structure for security scans or?
Security scanner mo na isang account.
Okay. That's a good question. I have to get back to you. So, I think there's a way actually to whitelist a specific account to do the load testing and the security scans. But I think I have to check back first. But that's a good question.
Okay. Okay. Any more before we proceed with our games?